Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Welcome back for this week's episode of the Insider Gaming News Talk Show. Joined by our regular hosts. Thankfully, got everybody back this week. Kid Tutu. Oh, Jesse, I did not change your team tag, apparently.
I'm Mind One. Sorry, Mind.
Hey, I'm Super Midas now.
Oh, whoa.
Woohoo. Whoa. Everything's shifting.
Yeah, I know.
Freaky Friday. I like it.
I know, right?
I'm skinny again. I'm feeling it. I'm skinny, clean shaven, got full head of hair.
Full head of hair.
Feels great, guys.
My
Feels
flag fell.
I gotta this one here. Sorry, guys.
Jeez.
I didn't even realize this.
Hendo, you're Mind again.
Oh hell yeah, DJing it up, baby.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry for the mix-up. White Bull, how's it going? So we got a lot of news this week, a lot of big news. Anyway, we've been hearing a lot of the Blizzard controversy this week. We got a bit of news on new gaming hardware and tech that's coming out in the 2020 season, which we got a lot of information about this week. Also news about Google. We've got game updates, a lot of the stuff on game install sizes, Red Dead Redemption 2. What was the other big one that was coming out? I'm trying to remember with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's all like is gonna have the biggest install size ever on PC.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Infinite Disk Space.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
So what's going on, buddy? And all kinds of stuff. Let's get started with what we usually go down. What have you been playing this week, guys? Choo-choo, start.
Pretty much the same as last week. Lots of Destiny 2. I'm in love with it. We got to do a little bit of a raid. Didn't finish it with you. Did you get to finish it, Tom?
They did.
Last Wish, right? Oh, they did. Oh, okay. We got to get back on that. That was a lot of fun.
Actually, no, I take that back. They got past the part where we were at, and they're stuck on the next part, which is even harder. It's all about this. It's the symbols and figuring out penumbra and anumbra or something like that, and trying to figure out where you drop these balls and slam them on. But if you get the wrong one, the person dies, and you fail that part. So you have to restart every time you get it wrong. So trying to decipher what's penumbra and anumbra is super difficult.
Yeah, that raid seems a lot tougher than like the raids I remember from Destiny 1. Even like the Leviathan raid. It's a
Leviathan. I think is a perfect balance of like hard enough, but easy enough to learn it. Whereas this last wish, I think it's Last Wish.
Last Wish, yeah.
Yeah, Last Wish raid is it's all about the puzzles, and I'm like, that's cool and all, but I want to fight something.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah.
It's cool, but when do we get to shoot things?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And besides that, Minecraft and on my streams, I've been trying to get into some more horror games. I played Blair Witch, which I thought was okay. It was really short, and it kind of ended pretty abruptly. And I didn't like the ending, but it felt like it just ended too soon.
Did you get that in one playthrough?
That game should have lasted a bit more. Yeah, I did. I was up. I did it like 5 hours, so it was pretty short, but I enjoyed it. It was okay. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what other horror games I should play for this month.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, I only got halfway through that one, so I eventually got to get back or dig back into that. But
I've been stocking up on horror games myself.
Hendo, what have you been playing?
I've been kind of like an RTS lazy week. I won't lie. I played a little bit of Planetary Annihilation.
Nice.
They had some new units, some updated stuff. Froggy got me into Prosperous Universe, so I blew 30
Did
grand.
I actually?
Yeah, I'm a constructor now.
Nice.
And I completely screwed up my money management, so now I'm about to go broke.
Not so nice.
So anybody got any free iron, hit me up. House Hendo, Darkstar Endeavors, Prosperous Universe.
I can send you some carbon in a couple of days. I've got
that works. I can make all the polyethylene you need, baby.
I got 40 units in production. I'll trade you some polyethylene for some carbon.
I'll trade you polyethylene for carbon. You know,
yeah,
I need to make that. So you give me the carbon.
All right.
Screw this up, buddy. Got a bunch of crap I don't need that I bought by accident. Okay.
Can't believe you did that. I don't know how you messed that up.
No. I was doing the market and I wasn't paying attention to the infinite symbols when it came to supply.
Yeah.
So I just started making like basic units. You know, they just sell people basic like walls and shit. And then found out that there's infinite supply. So fuck me.
So I'm actually gonna wheel my chair over here.
Uh-oh.
I finally dug through my case and I cracked this back out.
Oh yeah.
So I had a very interesting couple of days the last couple of days. I started with Elite Dangerous, of course, because it's my go-to space game that's not Star Citizen. And
Everspace.
I know. I had a good time with Elite Dangerous. I have to say, it was very enjoyable to play in VR again, especially when I cracked out my HOTAS. And then I switched over to No Man's Sky. And I have to say, the VR experience for No Man's Sky also very good.
I would love to try that in VR. It seems awesome.
It's fleshed out. It feels like it's supposed to. It was really good. And then they had this new thing that I wanted to take a look at. I don't know if it's new per se because it came out in like June or July or something. But the Spider-Man Far From Home virtual reality.
Oh yeah.
Experience, unbelievably cool. They're like, here, put like your hands into the controllers, like the Vive controllers, but like you have to use the triggers to like throw a web. And at some point I started noticing myself just going like this and then pulling, like just subconsciously, and it was the coolest thing, swinging around New York City. This is also pretty good,
the shield pen.
It's poorly, it's low res New York City, so you don't see as much detail as you would in like the PS4 game or whatever.
Well, but New York, you don't want to see that much detail.
Right, you don't want to see that much, especially in VR. But I had a lot of fun playing it. It was really, really cool. The first boss fight's kind of stupid, but it's definitely one of those games where it's like, if you just want to swing around New York City and pretend that you're Spider-Man and like think that you're cooler than you actually are, that's the game to play.
Very nice.
And I've also been playing Prosperous Universe, but I've been waiting. I have 8 days until I can do anything at all anyway, so.
Oh, man. Yeah, for me lately, I've been stuck on Destiny, of course. I've been playing a little bit of Ghost Recon when I can here and there. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That game's gonna suck me in once I get proper time sitting into it. And the other one I really want to try actually this weekend, is actually free to play for the weekend, was Hell Let Loose. I actually have it downloaded and ready to go. But I've also, like, my inner weeb has wanted to come out a little bit. There's a lot of good like anime games that have come out this week. Like the Dragon Star Valnir is one I really want to dig into because it just looks really, really fun because it's like a hybrid of your traditional RTS mixed with like visual novel and something else. And I've heard like some of the cutscenes are really good, but also really, really long. Like one guy I went and checked out a streamer playing it, and it was like 30 minutes for one of the cutscenes he was in.
I have you beat with Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 4 has everybody beat in that regard, but
yeah.
Oh my god, it's straight up movie.
There's straight up like hours of like cutscenes in that.
It's literally like an hour and 30 minutes. Still, I will stand by it. One of the best games ever created.
Oh yeah. So let's dig into this week's news. We'll start with the gaming hardware and tech news. We've got PS5 was officially announced for the holiday 2020 season, which is we don't know the exact date though. So I'm sure we're going to find that out probably during E3, I imagine this year or around that time. Because
PlayStation shows up.
Xbox Xbox is going to announce theirs at E3 this year. So that's going to be coming. So Xbox and PS5, of course, right, coming neck to neck with their new console drops. And I'm just surprised. Like, it felt like this generation of consoles went by super quick compared to the last one.
Yeah, this is a good thing. The last generation was way too damn long.
And they're launching so fast. They were like, PS5, it's coming out next week. And it's like,
next week.
Well, I mean, it's next year, but still, I mean,
you know, close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
So by the time it actually happens, you won't even notice. It's going to be next week, and we're going to be like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a big chunk of oh god, it's not even translated. Never mind.
Translate. What are you talking about?
The details on it. I was gonna read it, and I'm like, oh, it's gotta get.
Just look through the thread. The thread has like the details kind of all put together.
Yeah, so the official name is the PS5. We knew that. Ray tracing support is going to actually become available, and it's also going to be hardware based. New SSD will help out boot times, which I believe there's a SSD hybrid in the PS4 now for the Pro anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
They already have a lot of developers already have availability to the dev kit, which is kind of coming out. Bluepoint teases a big PS5 project, and it's a big one, they say. The other really funny one that was actually in this thread was the fact that they're going to be 1 to 2 discs that are 100 gigs each for installs for most games that are coming out for this console, which is going to be crazy.
That's like at the least too.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow. They're Blu-ray based discs just with big things to them. The DualShock 5 also is featured in one of the details. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there's going to be 100 gigs worth of game.
Well, I mean, we got 2 releases coming out in the next month that are 100 plus gigs. So it doesn't surprise me that if with new hardware available, becoming closer to PC specs now, especially with these 2 new consoles, I imagine most games will probably be on like the 80 plus gig, especially in AAA titles. What were you going to say, Tutu? Go for it.
The controller is one of the most interesting kind of features about it, because the controller sounds a lot like Xbox's the Elite controller, which is like $200, and this is like you get the controller free with the console. It has adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, new speakers, USB Type-C, and I don't think it has customizable buttons, but it has like everything else that the Elite has, which sounds awesome, like really, really cool. And another interesting fact is that you'll be able to install or uninstall like separate parts of a game. Like say you want to install a multiplayer segment of like Call of Duty, but you want to uninstall the single player segment. Apparently you can do that with the PS5, which is really, really cool. So hopefully that'll save some space.
That'll be exciting, yeah, because especially like that's becoming like the biggest hot topic in consoles now. It's like everybody's running out of space. I mean, like the original PlayStation didn't have enough room for more than 4 games or 5 games, basically at one point.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Like you go and they start getting the updates and doing all that stuff, and it was really, really short. But man, some of these are even shorter than that. But yeah, that's actually awesome. I hope to see that also in the Xbox. I mean, we don't have any details yet on the Xbox, and this is actually way more than what we would have gotten. But I almost wonder if this is kind of like a bait for Microsoft to release details on the Xbox here soon.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's really clever.
Because Xbox did it in the current generation before the Xbox One came out. They were like, here's some of the details. And then literally, not even a couple weeks later, Sony responded with what was coming out in the PS5, which is kind of what started this generation of weird console wars. Like, if you talk about the last generation of console wars, I think Microsoft had it beat by a lot, like with the 360 and PS3 era. But this generation, it was definitely owned by Sony on this one. Like, Sony has sold probably double of what Xbox is. And I'm an Xbox fanboy, personally. I like the controller and I like the features. I do like the exclusives on the PS4. Now, don't get me wrong. I own them all. I don't really care about that. I still think the live services still are much better than Sony's live services overall. But, yeah, it's just a different. It's going to be a different feel in this generation, I think.
Also, the thing is too, you got bigger companies with a smaller pool. It's 3 major companies that make consoles now. We go back to when we were all in high school, minus Super Midas, obviously.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, for us, it was about 10 plus years ago. There were several
Almost.
console making. Atari was still making fucking consoles. Let's be honest. They're trying to get in the handhelds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you got three major companies. That's why you got these weird wars, because now it's just like it's down to the three of us now: Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Well,
You know, it's
Nintendo,
like
they don't really seem to care to compete. They just like already like punched into that group. But
Well, yeah, 'cause
For Nintendo, you're talking about?
yeah,
Nintendo went for uniqueness. They were like,
Yeah.
yo, we just want to be unique as shit. That was their thing. And then, you know, Sony and Microsoft look at each other across the table and just started punching each other in the face. Like Nintendo started writing stuff down, and then just like Sony and Microsoft just started beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even then, Nintendo still always comes out as being its own unique market with its own thing, which has got a lot of games the other ones do now, which is really good because a lot of these companies are adopting Switch like crazy because portability is a big deal for a lot of people. Like that's why, like the Nintendo DSs and all that stuff survive so long
Yeah.
because everybody
even
wanted
if you
portable.
look at like the NPD numbers for like the past couple months, like Switch has been consistently on top, like above PlayStation and Xbox, which is really crazy.
Well,
So-
I mean,
The biggest thing that makes it on that is the adoption rates on it.
Yeah.
Like companies are adopting it like crazy. Like they're putting all their like, oh, well, we can import this and it's cheaper for our customers. Yeah, here. Okay.
yeah. I got both of mine sitting right here on my desk, and it's like I still have both of these because I still use both of them. You know, I don't have my Xbox anymore because I just don't need it anymore. But I found that, you know, a lot of the reason that I keep this is because it's just so easy. You know, I slip this in my back pocket and I head on
Oh,
the
yeah.
train, and I got this for, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours until it dies. And there's no reason for me to not have one.
Well, except for the fact that they're not making many new games for it anymore.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that.
I
But
mean,
even still, there's still
don't get me
plenty of
wrong.
good games on
Yeah,
here.
don't
there's
get me
a lot
wrong. The only
available.
reason I still have mine is because of the Pokemon games.
Yep.
Straight up, that's the
Yeah,
only reason I have mine
Nintendo
still.
focused on creating a great freaking catalog of their own IPs.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's what they did. So that way their consoles like, yeah, we'll go to the next gen, but let's be honest, I would still pull out my Game Boy Color and play Bomberman right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Kirby
Yep.
right after it. Classic.
Yeah, so
Because
there's
that's how Nintendo played the game. They're like, we're gonna make our own stuff and we're gonna make sure it's quality. The other consoles were like, we're gonna, you know, just have other people make good stuff and bring it onto our consoles.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's great. I mean, I'm excited to see a lot more healthy competition, but we're also seeing on another spectrum that exclusives really sell the games now. Like the
Yeah.
exclusives are really pushing the consoles. Like they're really selling, you know, what you're about. Like I think PlayStation 4 dominated the market mostly because Xbox had next to no good exclusives. Like
Yeah.
there's really only a handful I could say that are good. Like all the Forza games that are released are great, and the Gears Wars were great, except for 4 aspects of 4 I did not like. But
Yeah, as a whole, this gen really sucked for exclusives for Xbox.
yeah, whereas the last generation they killed it. They murdered that market.
Well, that's because in the last generation they came up with some pretty good IPs, and then they tried banking only on those IPs in the second generation. That's what screwed them. Oh, sorry, that was a notification on my end.
Oh, I
That
was like,
from,
what was
uh,
that?
That was actually me. I did that.
That
Sorry.
was him hitting me up on Prosperous Universe. Sorry, I
Yeah.
got it in a different browser.
Oh man, you guys. So
Wow.
the next topic we got on this is Google believes that Stadia will be faster than local PCs in 2 years or less.
I don't buy it. I think that's a load of BS.
Don't get me wrong.
do.
I'm really curious to see what Stadia is going to go for it because I think I'm going to pre-order it this week and try just to try it and see what happens.
No, man. It's like what, November 15th or something like that?
Yeah, it's coming up
Yeah.
quick.
Can we talk about the first part of this article though? Negative latency. What in the hell is negative latency?
So negative latency
Like-
refers to local gameplay. So like if you have it on your machine and playing it locally.
Right, but it's the way that they describe it in this PC Gamer article is the ability to predict your button presses. So this completely changes the way that games are meant to be played. You know, a lot of games, especially like we'll use Smash as an example because my roommate plays Smash like crazy, and his whole thing is you got to change it up and you got to have reaction time that's crazy fast. And this is saying that it will determine those button presses before you push them. And I think that that's kind of ridiculous.
Well, they could do it hardware based if you really think about it. I mean, they could go and just add sensors into them to know when you're even hovering over that button about to press it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They could also probably like predict, like, you know, your kind of your player habits pretty much, and predicted that.
Yeah.
And most people are pretty, you know, for the most part, pretty predictable on it. Response times and like, you know, your good days and your bad days, basically, in terms of gaming and fighting games and all that kind of stuff is different. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see.
I think it's cool, but I also think it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, if I've got a keyboard like the one I've got here, you know, there's no way for you to predict what button I'm going to press. And that's how I've won games in the past, is by doing something completely unpredictable. So unless they've got like a neural network that goes crazy and like totally understands what you specifically are doing, I don't think it's going to work very well. But you know, I'm excited to see how it goes. And if it does work out, I might actually go for it because it would be cheaper for me.
Yeah, I assume this will be more so like with their own controller versus like keyboard and mouse. 'Cause I
Probably.
figured it'd be harder to predict those movements with keyboard and mouse.
Oh yeah, you definitely would be able to because they don't activate and they don't have a way to do it. So it'd probably end up being with their own controller. But that'll be interesting to find out. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm interested in. You need at least a connection speed of 35 megabytes per second, which for a lot of people here, like in the general US, is fairly easy. But people in like, I don't know, Australia or like the UK, it's going to be really difficult for them to be able to play these games live, at least.
Well, they say
know.
they had stuff down as low as 10 megs a second. So that's not too bad in that regard. Like you can still play stuff, and it all depends on the quality you want, right? So if you want like 4K experience, you're gonna have a beefy connection.
Yeah.
But if you're doing 1080p or even down to 720p, which is their lowest, like you only need a 5 or 10 meg connection for those, which is not terrible. Or you just play it on your mobile device, which you'll never see a difference anyway.
Right.
At least not in a resolution standpoint, you know.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how it works. And if you pre-order it, I'll definitely be asking you a lot of questions about it because it definitely interests me.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try it out. And I'm gonna see what it is, and then when we actually get it, like I may even do like a segment where we check it out live.
I'm
cool.
interested to see like just how like the adoption rate and how people stick to games. Like what will Destiny 2 look like on Stadia like a month, 2 months from now? Like things like that.
Yeah. Where it needs a player base to get games going, right?
Yeah.
But if you're able to play on your tablet or mobile device or whatever, that's going to be an interesting thing to check out on that.
I like Doodles' response in chat. Google also believes in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
they are pretty ambitious in terms of some of these things, I think.
Yeah.
Google is many things. Yes, ambitious could go on that list.
Well, ambitious is definitely on that list, but
completely ambitious.
So in the next segment, we've got Steam is actually going to do remote play together, which is actually going to introduce local online support for all local multiplayer games. So anything that doesn't even have an online connection, you're going to be able to actually connect. Like they're basically giving games that have no online multiplayer. So
wait, okay. Is this like, are we talking like Hamachi type multiplayer, or are we talking?
I'm thinking like Overcooked or like those kind of things.
Okay.
Like ones that don't have, like Overcooked 1 didn't have online, but 2 did, or Castle Crashers, or like stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, actually,
SWAT 4. Get out of here with that SWAT 4 tree bag. Jeez, nobody wants to get shot in the back by Lovelust.
I think it's No, you're right. It's the very bottom of the article says what it is, but that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Being able to play games together, like single player games with someone else, is like something I've been waiting to do for years, and something that I would have been happy to have back in like high school. This is so cool that they're doing it now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like local multiplayer games where they look so cool, and then I see that there's no online. I'm like, oh god, like I don't want this anymore. But now with this feature, like everything.
Best part about it launches October 21st, so it's coming up quick. Less than 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
So that'd be funny if like Metro Exodus like got on this and you could do that multiplayer.
Oh god. Well,
That'd be
is there
really
even is there even local multiplayer for that?
I don't believe so.
I think it's a single player
Metro.
only game.
Yeah, single. You could make Metro with this system a multiplayer game. That'd be so damn fun.
Yeah, I think a multiplayer Metro game would be like really fun.
It'd be so full of trolls because
Yeah.
everybody would trigger the bad guy. Everybody would trigger that freaking. I forget what they're called, but you're not supposed to move. They're like mutated apes. You're
Yeah,
not supposed to move around them. They don't attack you. As long as you look them in the face, you have to stay like eye contact with them, like an SCP.
all right, let's move on. 'Cause I
So
want to talk about Eternal.
go for it. You want to talk about Eternal? Go for it.
Yeah. So Doom Eternal got delayed. And I will give you 3 guesses as to which month it's got delayed to. March 2020 is going to be ridiculous.
Great.
It's going to be unbelievable. My wallet is going to be empty. I'm going to have no free time, and I'm going to have 30 games that I need to play all at once.
And I just realized today this comes out the same exact day as Animal Crossing, which to some of you might not be a big deal, but for me, that is crazy.
It's the funniest. A lot of people are making memes about Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. There's one of like Isabelle and the Doom guy, and they both have shotguns. And it's really funny. But
Dude, that month is loaded.
I'm happy that they delayed it. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy they delayed it because it makes me feel
such a packed month, though.
I know.
I wish it was a different month.
They could have picked a different month, but I actually think that it's pretty good that they delayed it because then we're going to get a better, more fleshed out Doom game than we would get if they released it like tomorrow or whatever. And I respect id Software for coming out and saying, it's not ready. It's not ready to go. So we're going to delay it and we're going to make sure that it's ready to go by that point.
I'm laughing
Doom
because
shows up at eBag.
it got delayed so crossplay with Doom shows up in Animal Crossing.
There's been rumors about.
I want Animal Crossing with Doom characters now.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed in the modding community.
As they come out and they start, I'm gonna pick my pretty flowers. The Doom guy.
There's been like really heavy rumors about Doomslayer being a character in Smash.
Yeah,
and
Doom
stuff like
Doom and Smash.
How would that finishing move work?
I don't know.
Like Doom guys should be in Mortal Kombat, not Smash. Let's be
That's true. That's true. And Doodles, yeah, you're right. Yeah, the last Doom was delayed and actually ended up being worth the wait. Because I remember even me and Tutu actually getting it when we both got it, and we played that like solid for probably 3 weeks.
Man.
Oh yeah, I finished Doom on one of the I think it was like the second hardest difficulty, and as soon as I did it, I was like, well, I'm going to finish this on the hardest difficulty. It took me something like 3 weeks, but I did it, and I felt so proud about it because it was such a good game. They took like classic Doom, and then they were just like, here's new guns and stuff. Have fun.
And the execution.
The visuals were great.
The executions.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was like a mix. It's like they took what they learned from Dead Space and put it into Doom, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably one of my favorite Doom games to ever come out.
So there are some key notes to take away from their statement. Invasion mode, which is their new multiplayer mode, it's going to come out after launch, which I think is awesome because it gives people time to play the single player and fall in love with that, and then after they're finished with that, get into the multiplayer aspect of it. Doom Eternal for Switch is getting delayed past the delay, so no release date for that yet. And then this one hurt me because I was looking forward to this, but Doom 64, which is cool, is going to be a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal, but then that comes out the same day rather than it coming out in November like as it previously was. So
bullshit.
I don't know because it's stupid because
it's a pre-order bonus. They want you to make sure that you're not going to get it and then cancel it. So I get it on that regard, but yeah. I don't know.
That's all. I'm excited. I'm just excited, and I'm glad.
I'm excited overall.
But... I'm glad they delayed it so that it's a good, proper, solid game when it comes out.
Yes, do not Duke Nukem Doom.
Yeah.
Next topic, I believe, belongs to Tutu. I'm gonna give this one to him.
Yes. So there's been a big Red Dead Redemption 2 news blowout for PC. Right now, it's available for pre-order only on the Rockstar Games launcher, and you get like 2 free Rockstar games with it. and it's coming out for you can pre-order everywhere else except for Steam on October 22nd, and then Steam will be in December, so after like the launch date of Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes out November 5th. And the coolest thing here is, like, for the first time that I can recall, the PC version is actually getting exclusives. So there's
Right?
yeah, I know. So there's 3 exclusive bounty hunter missions for the single player campaign, 2 new gang hideouts, 2 new treasure maps. There's a brand new mission. There's new weapons for the story mode. Some are online, but some are like completely exclusive weapons to the story mode. And there's going to be new horses for the story mode. Same here. Some are online, and then some are completely exclusive. There's new trinkets that kind of affect your stats and stuff like that as well. They put out the specs, and the most notable thing is what we were kind of alluding at earlier, is that it's 150 gig install for Red Dead 2 on PC.
Was it 150? I thought it was 125 or something.
No, 150.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 90 gigs or something for the consoles. Like, it was already pretty beefy
Yeah,
for the consoles, but
it was.
my God,
Yeah.
that's a lot for PC, and that's a lot of space. But yeah, I'm super excited that Red Dead's finally coming out. I know a lot of us have been actually like clamoring to when Red Dead was going to come out, and it actually came out a lot less time than GTA 5 did in terms of the PC. It took almost 3 years for PC to come out, and this is like a year later.
Yeah.
Can I do some breaking news here?
Hmm.
Fortnite's done.
The season 1's done.
Yeah, no, it's all like literally the last title screen is here. It says, "Thank you for playing this game. Sadly, this is the end. We are grateful for all of your support during the years." They shut it down.
Well, for now.
For now, yeah, but like, but still, that's big. You know how many people are playing Fortnite, and then it's all over now.
That's weird. Why they would shut it down though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, actually, I just saw something on Twitter just a minute ago about the whole end, but
they
created a black hole and sucked everything up.
Epic is freaking crazy, man. You know
Epic
how much money you know how much money they just lost by shutting this mess down.
Epic is
They
just
don't give a damn.
See, Epic, man. I've been telling you guys since day one, man. Epic gives zero shits.
They do not care.
Cash in and run, bro.
This is
so
crazy.
$3.
Wow.
Fortnite is done right now.
Well, they had the Fortnite Chapter 2 thing leak, and that was
some soccer mom they just bought like 10,000 V-Bucks for a kid that's like pissed right now.
Man, what the hell? Only Epic, man.
Only Epic would do something that crazy. Literally, the title, the end of the screen when you boot it up now, it says, "Thank you for playing this game. Sadly, this is the end." And it gives you the option to uninstall or quit.
What?
What?
Yeah. That's it.
That's wild.
You can either uninstall the game or quit the game, and that's it.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't even have Fortnite, so I can't check this. This is bad.
Oh my God. Well, I guess that's one way. Maybe this is them trying to come out of beta or early access too, because it's still technically in early access.
I'm dying.
Epic doesn't have the infrastructure for early access to save their ass.
What are they doing?
They were just like, nah, no more.
We know this isn't the end of Fortnite.
It'd be hilarious if it was.
Yeah, if they were just like, we're not making Fortnite anymore. Sorry.
We got sick of ninja shit. We're done.
Yeah, this is weird, man.
That's crazy.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I see the screenshot here. Thank you for playing the game. Sadly, this is the end. We're grateful for all your support. That is either got to be the most interesting ending to thing or the biggest fucking troll ever.
Yeah.
I think it could be both. I think they're completely trolling, but they're also like, yeah, we're actually shutting.
You know, I wonder.
Am I a bad person? Because I kind of wish they're not trolling. That makes me a bad person.
No, I'm with you.
I don't know
I'm with you.
because it's fucking fun.
Let's keep moving, but goddamn, that's funny.
Man. That's a great breaking story. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Jesus, Twitch is super broken right now.
Yeah, Twitch is broken.
Fortnite brought it down.
It literally says Fortnite has been gone for XXX time. What? Well, I can't even look at it because Twitch literally is not loading for me right now. It's error loading data.
I think Fortnite completely broke Twitch.
Everybody's logging in. Like, what the hell's going on? Oh my god!
I feel bad for Twitch's servers right now.
Yeah. Well, they must be doing something today, which is, of course, not good for us either.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, let's continue on with the next interesting story. Fortnite shutting down is also very interesting. I didn't expect that. I knew they were going to do a chapter 2 soon, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about this next story. It's actually Rocket League is getting another Stranger Things crossover. So they're not only in Dead by Daylight now, they are also in Rocket League. You got the Haunted Hollows map that has the Mind Flayer in the background.
Yeah.
New cars and everything to go with it. And I think there was a Demogorgon ball they were doing for this. Also the hats, the hats and theme car skins from the kids. So like the kids all have their themed cars and everything too, which is going to be pretty cool to see. I'm excited about this. I really am wanting to get back into Rocket League too because it's so much fun, but it's also rage inducing.
Yeah, I can't do it without just screaming. I just can't do it.
Honestly, Rocket League has become a party game for me for years. I only play it with friends.
Oh wow!
Like
That's not even.
If we ain't all drinking, eating some buffalo wings behind a big screen, I'm usually not playing Rocket.
Yeah.
On the next one too. This one actually it sucks, but it also is kind of understandable. It hasn't had much of a player base in the last year or so, but it's a sci-fi exploration MMO. The Last Frontier is also shutting down in November. It was kind of like a weird hybrid, like almost mixed between like an RTS hybrid or MMO. You basically farm and build your city and do all that kind of stuff. And they're shutting down because of money. They're not making enough money off the game. And yeah, I don't know what to say much about that one because it's just kind of an odd one that's shutting down.
Oh, sorry, what title was that? I kind of like
the Last Frontier.
Oh,
the Last Frontier is like the hybrid thing. And this one actually was an interesting one. I don't know if you guys when you guys want to take this one.
The Facebook one.
Facebook one. No.
Which one are we talking about?
Or the gaming industry news, actually.
So so now we're breaking into gaming industry news. This is actually kind of an interesting one. And this has already happened once this year, which is kind of interesting. It's happening again so quick. Daybreak's also been hit with another round of layoffs, which is kind of surprising. And nobody's confirmed what the amount is, but probably I think it's well over 24 employees, even here from the San Diego office, have actually reported they have been laid off. Now a lot of other companies are also like posting their jobs available and everything, which is actually how it came to my attention because I am a former SOE employee myself, and I'm actually in a group, like a Facebook group, for example, that is dedicated for people who are used to work at SOE/Daybreak. And I started seeing a lot of people posting the job saying they were let go, and it was quite a few people, surprisingly. But I imagine this is kind of in the wake of PlanetSide Arena not doing very well because the game was just super not
That's
optimized.
A Daybreak game too?
Oh, PlanetSide Arena, yeah.
Yeah,
PlanetSide is theirs.
Yeah, that game did a lot worse than I thought it would. Like even concurrents now are like super low. I'll try to look it up real quick, but it's definitely something. I mean, with H1 as well, H1Z1. As sad as it is, of course, we always wish these developers the best and hope they land on their feet. But this is definitely something you could kind of see coming.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Just aren't doing well.
Yeah, like I was a big EverQuest player when I was younger, so
yeah. So right now, PlanetSide Arena does not have enough players to even fill a game. They have 67 players in the game right now.
Yeah, it sounds about right. PlanetSide Arena kind of flopped on delivery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad blood from the fixes that never came to PlanetSide too, because I used to play that with Eric and them back when they used to stream that. The Imperium's little army.
I was looking forward to this, but it seems like it doesn't have a great reception. Definitely doesn't have a great player.
Now, PlanetSide 2 is still kicking. Not many
Yeah.
though. It's 2,000 or so. So it's still not doing very good. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just PlanetSide Arena just flops super hard. You know, H1Z1's had struggling to keep up with the BR genre ever since other games came out with better features, basically.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is actually held up because the company just refuses to, help make it better for the players and stuff, So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting to see how that ends up working out for them. I mean, I wish the best for definitely the employees that got affected by this, which is really sad and unfortunate, but it's starting to prove, I think, or really show that Daybreak is not a good company to work for this day and age.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because SOE used to be a very good premier company from some of the original games. I mean, I would love to see a new EverQuest come out, to be honest, because it was such a big staple from my younger years. But
I would like to see it come out under anybody else but SOE.
Yeah.
Because I remember when EverQuest 3 was in the works, and that was kind of egregious.
Yeah. So we had some other big news for the analytics guys. We're actually going to try to do a segment here soon on kind of deep diving into some of these. I don't want to touch too much on it today because there's a lot of data, a lot of data.
Oh God,
this one's
this is
super
really in depth.
Yeah, so last week we talked a little bit about the Stream Elements report that came out in terms of the overall viewership per platform, and so on and so forth. This one actually came out from Streamlabs, which we know around the same time they do kind of a quarterly update, and it's great. The data is so deep diving that I can't keep up with it. Fortnite still is the leader in terms of games. Twitch, we know obviously is big. YouTube Gaming Live, so we have 2551 hours watched on Twitch, 675 million for YouTube, and 90 million for Mixer, which is weird because Mixer I thought had a little bit more in terms of the hours watched, which is interesting because then you go to the next section, hours streamed by platform. Now Twitch has the highest, of course, 87 million. YouTube is 11.1 million, but then you go to Mixer's 32 million hours streamed. But so what does that say for you when you're going, you have 32 million hours streamed, but only 90 million watching, versus where it's the opposite direction? Your Twitch is 87 million hours streamed, but 200 what is this? Is that 2 billion? 2551?
So yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 billion hours watched. Because they market in millions still instead of knocking into billions. It's weird. But yeah, that's crazy. Top publishers watched in terms of Q3 was Blizzard, 342 million, followed by Riot, then Valve, then Epic, then Rockstar. Now, interesting how this changed. This next section, I'm probably going to stop for here because there's so much data to go through. But the Twitch top genres watched in Q3, which is completely shifted, by the way. So adventure games, 376 million, which is something new. They were on number 5, I think, last time. Shooters are up to 383 million, which makes sense. Now battle arena, stuff like Dota, League of Legends, stuff like that. At 362 million, 351 million to Battle Royale. So Battle Royale is now number 4, which is interesting. Role-playing games are actually up substantially, up 72%, 319 million. And then other and untagged games are pretty much everything else. But it's crazy. Some of these trends are very interesting. If you guys want to read the full report, we'll post it here in chat.
Well, some of these trends.
Oh, you already posted it.
Some of these trends I kind of saw coming. The role playing, I knew was going to pick up because it's so much more interactive for viewers.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of streamers, do hey, I'm going to do Elder Scrolls. You guys design my character for me and determine my dialogue choices, and people love that shit.
Yeah, so it's interesting, definitely. Oh my god, Twitch is so borked right now. I'm trying to look at that Fortnite thing. 1.7 million viewers in Twitch right now.
They said they removed the category. I thought I saw.
No, the category's still there.
Oh.
Everything's broken. Deodorant, we're going to. We got one more thing right before.
Yeah, we got one more thing. We're getting into the Blizz controversy. Yeah, we're gonna definitely dig into that one quite a bit.
I knew Theo was gonna ask.
This one actually,
Yeah.
we could probably drop this one really.
I want to mention something about it. Just real fast. Apparently Facebook's been inflating their view, and we mentioned this on our last show that they were counting just scrolling past it as one view. They were artificially inflating their views, so they're going to pay something like 0.08% of their annual revenue in a fine, and it's kind of just a slap on the wrist, and that's it.
40 under 40 million. Basically?
It's actually just 40 million.
Oh, yeah.
Of their like $4 or $5 billion profit.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not very surprised that Facebook did this.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, so like it's different now, right? The landscape on this, the whole viewer, like what counts as a viewer has changed. And we actually had a big thing about Twitch this week, which I'm surprised we didn't put it in here actually in relation to this, is how viewers are counted now. And then every platform is kind of like changing in how that is, you know, observed basically. Like even Twitch now to some degree, you can't have more than like say 5 or 6 tabs open watching streamers before it stops counting because you're not bringing anything meaningful to that channel. Yeah. So it takes the view away if you're watching too many streams, basically. Or the same thing if you're lurking and just watching after a certain period of time, now you fall off as a viewer because you're not interacting with the streamer, which is kind of a weird thing to do on how they like count, you know, the views and analytics and all that kind of stuff, which kind of really messes stuff up. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from this. That's kind of like, that's a big topic to actually dig into if we get some more data, and maybe here in a future show we'll try to dig into that a little bit more because I have a feeling that's not going to go away anytime soon.
No, it's definitely going to keep happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So digging into the top story, we're going to start from the top and give you guys kind of the breakdown of all the Blizzard stuff, and there's a lot here. Like this whole week has been like a roller coaster in terms of this Blizzard debacle. Geez. So we all know it started with Blitzchung. He went on to the Grandmasters, won the Grandmasters tournament that was just last weekend. It was last Saturday, I believe. Saturday or Sunday? When the finale was? I think it was Sunday, yeah. It was over the weekend. And he gets a 1-year ban, and they removed his earnings from the thing mentioning his support for the Hong Kong protests, which is understandable. He's trying to voice his opinion. Granted, apparently it was in his contract that he was not supposed to do that. But that's a whole different thing to be said for that. So he gets the ban, a 1-year ban, and his earnings removed, which I think it was how much was that tournament? I don't remember. I want to say it was like
I think it was $500,000.
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, it was like
something close to that.
Yeah,
10. Okay.
$10,000.
I heard the number 500,000.
Yeah, I thought it was a $500,000 tournament. That could be it for everybody too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says $10,000 in tournament winning. Now, you guys may be thinking of the conversion to Hong Kong dollars, which is a lot
well,
higher.
I'm not worried about that. Yeah. Just what it
I'm
was.
saying that may be where you're getting the higher number from.
Oh, no. Well, most of the big like these card game tournaments, 10,000 seems really shallow for a card game tournament, especially something as big as Hearthstone.
Yeah, but if you take into account cost of living in the countries that you're doing the tournaments, that's how they cut corners and save money. $10,000 to somebody in Bangladesh is going to go a lot further than somebody for $10,000 in New York. So that's how companies do on a national scale, save themselves.
So anyway, going into this even further. So during the week we had fan protests. We had a Blizzard walkout in terms of the employees being very unhappy with the sentiment of how this happened, and the fact there was no real word until yesterday or 2 days ago.
I want to say kudos to those employees because know what, I give a lot of game devs crap for their shit, but when you guys stick to your guns and not being hypocritical and shit, I give you props.
Yeah.
I may disagree, but you stuck to your guns, and I can respect that because on principle, I agree with you.
Yeah, definitely like break into it. I'm kind of just giving the roundout of what's been going on this whole week with everything. The other big news on terms of like the fans protesting, the walkout happened at Blizzard in Irvine. And then we had the two shoutcasters, like big shoutcasters for the US tournaments, which is Brian Keebler and Nathan Zamora, both quit shoutcasting for Blizzard games as a whole, which is a huge paycheck for those guys. Like that's a big career decision to do, but at the same time, like I understand. To be honest, if I was a shoutcaster for them, I probably would have done the same thing. I don't support acts like this. It's really silly for them to do it.
Yeah.
And I absolutely understand. And Brian Keebler and Dathan Zamora, actually, both of them, we saw them at TwitchCon. They were doing events there, shoutcasting, and also doing interviews and stuff like that there. What's interesting though is actually, I think it was Thursday. Was it Thursday?
Yes.
Oh, it's
yes,
Friday
their
morning.
word salad that completely buried them even deeper.
The what?
In my opinion.
What are
Are
you
you talking about the Blizzard statement on Thursday that they made?
talking about? I'm not making
That was Friday.
That was Friday. But no. I was talking. I'm going for Riot's response.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
So
Sorry.
Riot's response was basically the stance that they have tournaments and when they do it, they want to focus on the game. They don't want they're supportive of what's going on and very aware of these things, but they don't want to have them on air. And it's basically their way of saying, like, we're trying to avoid this problem, like, as a whole. And I understand, and it's but at the same time, it's also kind of the same thing of what Blizzard states in their contracts too for esports tournaments, which I understand. They want it to be about the game and entertain people, right? Like, that's pretty much what they're there for. If you want to see the Blizzard or the Riot statement, I'll post it here in chat. Very fun. What, Keebler? It is Brian Keebler. Yeah, I say I met him quite a few times. I actually played against him in a tournament back in 2007. Kicked my ass all over the stage.
Man, I was 7 years old.
Yeah, Keebler. It's pretty much how you pronounce it. But Riot had a easy point of trying to make sure they got ahead of that, which is something that's weird for Riot because Riot trying to get ahead of something is different. At least in this regard. But now we're gonna. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Continue. No, you were almost done.
Oh no, I was going for the statement. So go ahead.
Oh no. Well, in Riot's defense, in all actuality, they are completely owned by that market over there. So them saying this and being apolitical to begin with, I would think would be staying the course and just covering,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
basics. Because
and I get
never
it.
really allowed political discourse on their platforms to begin.
No. In fact, like in their tournaments too, it's strictly enforced. Like they don't allow you to do it. And the fact that like I think they've even cases cut off streams for stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But so let's get to the juicy part of it. So Friday.
Wait, hold on.
Oh wait.
Before we move on, I want to mention that Epic Games, they also put out a statement. The
that's
CEO
right.
of Epic Games is pretty much the complete opposite of Riot and
wait, that was on here, yeah.
Now mind you, Tencent, the Chinese company, they also own stake in Epic Games. It's a smaller stake, but I think it's more than Blizzard's stake. But of course, Epic Games, they don't give a damn about anything, as we can see.
Yeah, as we can see,
Fortnite
what literally
And
just happened.
And their founding CEO is keeping his majority share, so he's calling the shots still.
But yeah, Tim Sweeney said that he's in full support of Fortnite players. With their freedom of speech, and he's saying that something like what happened with Blizzard will never happen on his watch. So which is really cool. But again, Epic Games, they don't give a damn at all. If they lose 10 cents, I'm sure Tim Sweeney's just like, oh well,
whatever.
We got money.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't know what would happen if they did that during a tournament, but it's the same thing. They also have clauses in their tournament rules that you can't do certain stuff during the live streams, which is interesting. And that that him saying that too. So, should we move on to the statement?
Yeah, the statement is that's my coup de grace right now.
I kind of want to read off the statement, or at least the tidbits of what's the big parts of it.
Long. The opening paragraph and a half, it definitely just sets the tone perfectly.
So their main part of it was they reduced the ban, or the suspension, I should say. It's now 6 months, and they returned his prize earnings, which was a good start. But at the same time, it's like the whole rest of that statement, to me, it feels like they're basically like trying to save face, I guess, to some degree. And I mean, I get it, or make excuses for some of it.
Entire base was enraged. That was 100% saving face.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's see. The specific views expressed by Blitzchung were not a factor in the decision we made. I want to be clear, our relationship with China had no influence on our decision. The executive went on to say that Blizzard enforces rules and cannot be said during player interviews to keep the focus on the game and the tournament for reasons, and this reason alone, Blizzard decided to take action against Blitzchung. So they're basically saying because he said something and he wasn't supposed to is why they took action in such a public way.
And nah.
No.
People have made political statements on Blizzard all the time and never have gotten this level of repercussion. There've
No.
been, silent bans. There's been like, a little talk to after you come off stage. There's never been this public, and it's because they have a huge investor.
Well, we were going to get to that too. So in turn of this statement, that was the Taiwanese shoutcaster getting fired was before the statement, and then after the statement, they said they've rehired them and suspended them instead.
Yeah,
but they're suspended. Yes. I can't remember what the duration of their suspension.
They're 6 months as well.
They're 6 months as well. Okay, so they get 6 months. They all could come back, which is kind of a weird walk back. You go and fire somebody, and they're like, "Oh, well, by the way, you still have a job, but you still can't do it for 6 months. Sorry." Like what? I mean, for employees that need that income and need to go to tournaments to do it, that's bad. Saying, "Oh, you can't basically come back to work for this tournament bracket for 6 months." Thanks. Like, who the hell's going to go back to that? To be honest, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
This is literally just a clear-cut case of compromising your public core values for profit.
Yeah.
Okay. Blizzard has constantly said the freedom of expression is one of their main hit, but in my personal opinion, nobody has to share this. If you're a U.S. company, you go off our U.S. in general stuff. If you're from a different country, your gaming company, you go off wherever rules that is. If you're a gaming company from India, follow India's laws when dealing with your player base. That's 100% cool. You won't hear beef from me. But if you're a U.S. company, you can't be enforcing crap.
Yeah.
That's already against your core value. To me, it's just hypocritical. I'm not going to the politics at all. I just think Blizzard, their statements and what they've been about publicly, the whole campaign for the Overwatch game, everything. They've been pretty open about people being there, able to express themselves.
That's also why, to me, it makes more sense for Riot to do this than Blizzard. It's stupid.
Yeah,
I think Blizzard just made.
Riot's a U.S. company too, right?
Yeah.
No, Riot's owned completely by Tencent.
By Tencent, okay. Yeah.
Tencent owns 100% of their shares, so
still
that's why I give
sense.
Riot a pass because I'm like, okay, you're owned by them, so you gotta go off their rules. That's why I don't give Riot that much crap at all.
Yeah, and then
Blizzard though, your IPs, your copyrights are all in the US of A, buddy. Come on.
Yeah. But it says, in terms of suspension, Brax said a 6-month ban is more appropriate than the 1-year suspension they announced earlier. There's consequence for taking controversies away from the purpose of the event and disrupting and derailing the broadcast. The shoutcasters were also caught up in the controversy, and Blizzard is banning them as well as for steering the conversation away from the game with regard to casters, members, and their purpose is to keep the event focused on the tournament and the game, and that did not happen here. We are setting their suspension to 6 months as well. One of the goals of Blizzard is to make sure that every player everywhere in the world, regardless of political views, religious beliefs, race, gender, or any other consideration, feels safe and welcome in both competing and in playing our games.
That's one of my biggest sentence is one of my biggest issues in the whole statement. They literally practice prosecution, and they're trying to say they're trying to prevent prosecution.
Yeah.
Right.
which that's the whole thing. It's just like you oppress two people from two small Asian countries for their political views. Stop it. Stop getting political. Sell games. We just want to play games, people.
Yeah.
With fantasy, with Jamaican trolls and all kinds of weird shit. Okay, that's all we want.
So Blitzchung comes back in his own statement, and he's grateful for Blizzard for reducing his ban. He added that at the time he deviated from the script and spoke about the Hong Kong protest, I knew I might have a penalty or consequence for my act. Going forward, I will be more careful on the way that I express my opinions and show support for Hong Kong in my personal platforms. Regarding the reinstatement of his prize money, Blitzchung said he spoke to Blizzard on the phone and accepts their decision, regardless of the reduction in time of his suspension for 1 year to 6 months. He said he appreciates Blizzard reconsidering, but maintains that 6 months is still too long, which I agree. Literally the next half of the year, so you're until May or June, he's basically screwed still.
So while we've been talking about this, an IGN article got posted about the official Hearthstone Weibo account, which is Weibo is a Chinese social media platform, and I know my friend Trey posted it in chat. But here's their official statement from mainland China. They're tweeting from mainland China. We express our strong indignation or resentment and condemnation of the events that occurred in the Hearthstone Asia Pacific competition last weekend and absolutely oppose the dissemination of personal political ideas during any events or games. The players involved will be banned and the commenters involved will be immediately terminated from any official business. Also, we will protect or safeguard our national dignity.
And
That last sentence right there is like that screams to me.
Well,
Jesus.
that's the thing too. A lot of people don't realize this that don't follow stuff over there is almost every company in China is nationally owned.
Yeah.
So they have to speak like that, or they actually do get in trouble.
Which is it's.
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
It's. I don't know. I feel like that last sentence there, we will also protect our national dignity, is like. That's kind of a pretty much a statement that says, you know, whatever the U.S. group says doesn't matter. You know, this is the official Hong Kong, or not the official Chinese Hearthstone account. What they say is what's going to go straight into mainland China.
I love the fact that Blizzard completely forgets that the internet is like a thing everybody has access to, and we can't go look on Chinese social media and see every time they write us a statement like this on Friday, they've written 2 statements in their official social media overseas contradicting that very statement in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like we don't know what they're doing. It's just saving face on all levels, and it's just making everybody mad.
Yeah.
Because China's still going to punish the company because of this whole controversy, and us as consumers, I've lost faith. Like Blizzard's always been on the fence with me, but I've lost complete faith in them.
Well, that's also been part of the thing that we've noticed this year, right? Like Blizzard has really gone downhill this year. For the first time, they actually had a mass layoff for the first time ever, and then they cut teams that needed to still exist for their games, including, you know, of course, cutting Heroes of the Storm, which made sense because it wasn't doing as well. But but all the money they cut out from the colleges because they were doing, you know, the Heroes of the Dorm thing also was a big deal, and they were still housing and doing everything for those people. It was crazy. It's like this year is nothing but bad news for Blizzard, and I think, like, they hate to say it, but a lot of it has come down to the fact that they're owned by Activision. And I know we all had a bad feeling about that.
Bring that too. Yeah, it is a factor. It's
I said
like when EA takes over a title, you know, it's not really their fault.
I said on a personal note, like you know, while this mess is going on, like I just can't like actively support a Blizzard game, and now I'm even like second guessing if I should like go out and buy Call of Duty because, you know, they're under the same.
And that's the thing is, like, I mean, Call of Duty itself has not been the same Call of Duty for years now. At this point, like, it's just insane on how much it has not been the same, you know, type of game. Now, while it's like Modern Warfare comes, you know, the new one that's coming out here in a few weeks, like it's going back to its roots to some degree on some of the best titles they've ever had, but they still don't have the same people that made those games great, you know, like Vincent Ampanella and I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head, but yeah, and then don't you guys own cell phone? That was that Blizzard that did that this year?
That was
that was BlizzCon last year.
Yeah.
With Diablo Immortal.
Oh, the Diablo Immortal thing. That's right.
Why they're making that? Ain't that right, Hendo?
One of the infamous red shirts of the question time arose in that time of need.
Yeah.
Yeah, Modern Warfare thing that, sorry to cut you off. That co-op mode being a PS4 exclusive, the fact that exclusives are still exist in Activision is bullshit. Like, I'm still really upset about that.
Well, it's not the whole mode, but it seems like a pretty significant chunk of the mode, which is like the horde survival aspect of it.
Yeah,
exclusive, which is still really stupid.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of that either, and especially because, like, the time it comes out is by the time the next Call of Duty comes out, so it's really stupid. Like, nobody's gonna be, like, it's gonna die by then.
Yeah,
Call of Duty is basically dead anyways.
They still have tons of tournaments.
It's been dead for like Black Ops 3.
No.
Let's be honest. Nobody really gave a crap since Black Ops 3. And even then it was kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know. Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say we did kind of skip over one of the best segments of this show, which we forgot. I am sorry about that, Tutu.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Tutu.
I felt like it was really worthy to skip over it. So I figured we would get to it at the end of the show. Do you want to get to it now, or you want to keep
Yeah,
talking more
go.
about Blizz?
I
Go
mean,
for it.
yeah, either we can either go for it or I don't. There's not much else to say other side of like just Blizzard is just it's fucking apart now, and it's not getting. And that statement, I think, to some degree, made it worse. I mean, aside of the fact he got his suspension, shortened a bit, and his prize money came back. Everything else was kind of bullshit or was a cop out.
I don't know. I'm just disappointed. They could have done so much better, and they decided to take the low road, and that kind of just made me lose faith.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't stand hypocrites. I can disagree with you on certain business practices, but I will always agree if you maintain consistency. And this is just hypocritical as hell. You let people say all kinds of other shit on their live streams because I've watched them, and they get in zero trouble.
Yeah, like we briefly talked about earlier before the show. I think it was like some Australian students. They put up like a sign, free Hong Kong, and they
Oh,
just
they
kind
were
of like cut
American.
away.
It was American
Oh, they're
University.
the U.S. students, and they cut away, and they didn't like receive any punishments at all.
Well,
That
not
was-
only that we've been seeing rumors too about potential protest at BlizzCon this year because of this.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that BlizzCon is going to be so interesting.
There's gonna be a bunch of May cosplays. They're gonna
Yeah.
be dope. It's gonna be like a bunch of Soldier 76 cosplays along with May. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, we'll follow along the story as it comes out when BlizzCon starts, which I believe is it this month or next month?
It's this month.
It's this
It's
month.
a couple weeks away now.
It's gonna be like Area 51, but good. It's gonna be a great BlizzCon.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be. Are we flying in MG Arena? Yes. I haven't been seeing any big stories about them aside of they're moving to the Epic launcher soon, but they might ban Field of the Dead. Oh, it's
BlizzCon
specific.
2019 is Friday, November 1st.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought it was
So,
November.
I swear to God, if I see Blizzard do a rainbow flag next Pride Month, I'm gonna flip shit.
Me too. Oh,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
flip shit.
Me too. I'm gonna
I'm
lose
gonna
it.
flip shit. That's
I'm
not
not
even.
gonna
I'm,
be-
We probably are.
I'm gonna go on a Twitter rant, and you guys know I rarely ever do that shit.
I would no. I'll be following your Twitter rant. I'm with it. If they decide that they were gonna flip flop around like that, I'm gonna throw a fit.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as that story progresses.
Yeah.
But let's go on and get to the final segment of the show, which we kind of skipped over. I apologize. It's Tutu's weekly deals and cool stuff.
All right, so there's a lot of really cool deals this week. And speaking of Pride, perfect segue. Steam is having a LGBTQ plus game sale, which is really cool. So it's a bunch of games featuring LGBTQ plus characters and relationships and stuff. I'm gonna put this in chat. You can check it out. The most notable game here, and the most notable thing is they have Life is Strange, which I love those games, the prequel and Life is Strange 2 and whatnot. But Dream Daddy.
Dream
is,
Daddy.
Is that the dad dating?
Yeah.
sim?
Yep.
So like, get this, Dream Daddy is on sale for 69% off.
Okay. All right.
For 464.
Nice.
When I thought that game couldn't make me laugh anymore.
They are ridiculous. Oh, they have Night in the Woods, which is another great LGBTQ plus story in a
Also,
game.
Yeah.
Somebody might have to clarify this to me after the show. But what the hell does the brown and black lines in the rainbow flag mean? Because that just confused the shit out of me.
We'll talk about that after the show.
Okay, yeah, talk to me about that shit. That just confused the shit out of me. I'm like, aren't they supposed to be all light colors?
If I'm going to recommend anything on this list that has not already been mentioned, I would recommend Valhalla, the cyberpunk bartender game. I played it for a little while and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Valhalla.
If you can stomach anime, which I can, Valhalla is an awesome game to play.
I didn't even see it. Where is that on that
It
list?
sounds pretty cool.
It's down the list under cyberpunk and sci-fi.
Like all my
Oh,
favorite
okay.
anime characters are bartenders, so that kind of works out for me. I might have to go grab that. I just rewatched Kings the other night, and I'm like, dude, I want a bar.
So that's a really cool sale. I'll probably pick up a couple games like Night in the Woods off of there.
If I had any
And,
money, I would.
There's a EA sale on Humble Bundle. So Humble's just got EA added to their catalog, and to celebrate, they're doing a sale. There's a lot of great sales on a bunch of games, a lot of older games. I just wanted to put this one here, just to put it in here. But if you like EA, check this out. I figured most of you already have these games anyway. So
well, also too, for those of you guys on Humble Bundle, I noticed this the other day since we're talking about. If you guys want to make your own RPG or your own card game, those are currently in the Bumble tiers right now.
Oh yeah,
so if you want to
the humble
like
the humble
Maker like 15, yeah, you can like grab like all the assets for like making your own card game or your own RPG maker. I notice people like mess around with that, so
absolutely.
And this is really cool and unique. Over on Greenman Gaming, they're having a sale for games that are owned by Scandinavian countries, or developed by Scandinavian countries. And it's really cool. If you go to the website, I'll put it in the chat in a second. But they have the flag and of all the different countries. If you click on the flag, it brings up like all the games like belonging to Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark. There's stuff like Hitman 2 is on sale. It's a lot of great games. Conan Exiles.
Bad North.
Man, all of the Stellaris stuff is on sale too. I love Stellaris.
No, on Stellaris, they just did a major update to their launcher and everything.
Oh,
if you use mods, none of them work now. You're gonna have to wait a week.
Yeah,
no.
I just got. I tried to play a little Stellaris this morning to just chill out, and all my mods were disabled.
City Skylines, the entire pack of City Skylines is on sale.
Oh my god! I think that's like the.
Oh, that's a good game.
Covers most of Finland too.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's very cool. And also over on the Nintendo Switch, for all my anime nerds out there, there's a huge Bandai Namco sale for your Dragon Ball Z's, your Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storms, your My Hero games. Also, what's that one game? Little Nightmares is on sale too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 big free games out this week. First one is Surviving Mars. It's free off of the Epic Game Store. And
great game.
Yeah, great game. Absolutely recommend.
If you ever wanted to terraform Mars, buy that game.
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to buy it. It's free.
Yeah,
and the DLCs are free in that too. There's a bunch of DLCs.
Mars 5 times. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, for Surviving Mars, they also it's a couple of the DLCs that are included in that sale or that freebie. So definitely pick up the game, and the DLCs are offering for free. Which for me, that's cool because I liked Surviving Mars. I got it when it first came out, but the tutorial was garbage back then, and now they've apparently fixed it. But now you get it for free, and I could try it again for free.
I'm very proud to admit it. I'm one of the few people that pre-ordered Surviving Mars.
I also pre-ordered.
So I've gotten all the DLC free to date, and I fucking love the game. I thought it was a great
concept. It's so good.
So the last
thing, shit though, Tommy. Yeah.
The last thing I want to give a shout out to is for all my Discord Nitro subscribers. We know that Games with Nitro is coming to an end, I believe, like next week. And as part of a last hurrah, this awesome kick-ass multiplayer action strategy game. It's like a really cool esports strategic 8-player game. It's called Killer Queen Black. That is free right now for all Nitro subscribers, free to keep. So if you have Discord Nitro, I highly recommend you hop to that, get that game, check it out. It's so cool. And I think today's the last day you can get it for free. So
definitely pick that up.
Killer Queen bites the duster.
Yeah,
I saw that joke coming.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff on the sales this week. That's for sure. And as we get into the holiday season, it's gonna be even crazier.
Oh my god, I don't even think I can keep up with freaking Black Friday and stuff like that.
But by the way, like Bad North, it's also on sale on
Monday, baby.
Oh, Cyber Monday.
Bad North also is gonna be it's on the Nintendo sale too. But if you guys haven't tried that one, Bad North is also really, really fun, like little strategy game. Basically keeping other Vikings off your little island, and it's a cool little strategy game. But Stellaris being on that sale, oof, so good.
Are you looking at the Nintendo? Yeah, well, the Nintendo page has a bunch of different sales too.
Oh yeah, tons of
them. I just thought the Bandai Namco one was most notable, but I'll put it in chat too. There's a bunch of sales going on for Switch as well.
I've already spent too much money this month on Disney, other shit, water heater. I can't be going on no games. I can't even go to Vegas this year. Come on.
Oh man. But yeah, the Bandai Namco one's actually a pretty good one. Even God Eater 3. I actually really want to play God Eater 3 too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man, a lot of news today. We actually went over time a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All in
bit.
good faith.
We had breaking news today.
Yeah, that's a lot. We had
great.
breaking news. That's,
That was funny.
Fortnite is borked. Goodbye, Fortnite.
Yeah.
we
goodbye,
need
Fortnite.
like a little alert. They just like that we can just like key in.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we-
breaking news.
Tommy, you need a
That was
button
the
that
first
says,
time we've ever
No.
had that, right?
They actually deleted the category.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
you
I was.
deleted
That's
the
what I was
category?
saying.
It was still
No
there when I was
way.
watching it, and it's gone now.
No
Oh,
way.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh my god. That's
So many
so
14-year-olds are gonna blame me on Reddit. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, wait, no.
Bastard with the beard wished it wasn't
no,
a
it's still
troll.
there.
Wait, it's still there, but
I
it,
think,
what
I
I
think it was
refreshed.
just bored. Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
What the heck?
I almost bought a bottle to celebrate.
Even Twitch itself, the Twitch channel itself is actually streaming Fortnite. The end is happening, and then it's got the
Yo.
countdown on how long
Yeah.
it's been gone.
Epic doesn't give a damn, man.
Epic's
This
just
is
like, I'm gonna
crazy.
do what I want. I ain't scared.
Well, it's
I've
cool 'cause
never
there's-
been so happy not to live in suburbia right now. I can only imagine the like autistic screaming at like ultimate levels going on.
Oh man,
I texted my friend Connor on Snap. He's my best friend. He's my roommate from last year. He plays Fortnite like crazy. I texted him. I said, "How you feel, buddy?" And he goes, "I don't know. I don't know."
Oh, I haven't seen so many people spaz out since like Jake the Snake put the snake on Macho Man when I was a kid, man. Like this is the last time I've seen people flip out.
oh
That's
man.
bad.
Dude.
And if you go to the Twitch channel, they're actually featuring different streamers who are actually showing something in the game. It says, "What's really happening? Stream your theory for a chance to be featured." That's really interesting.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I got for now in terms of news and whatnot. My God, there's so much this week, but we're definitely going to continue following the Blizzard story and see how that evolves over time. And I mean, I don't at all agree with what they did and how they did it, but I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement there, and a lot of things that other companies can learn and take note from this incident.
Restructuring, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Apparently there's I think Fortnite might be doing an ARG with this whole black hole thing. Numbers are appearing above the black hole. 11, 146, 15, and 62 have so far appeared. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
Speaking of Fortnite too, I'm looking forward to the new whatever the chapter 2, because there's going to be like a lot of good changes for a lot of subpar players like myself to kind of come back into and
The bots thing is
finally
going to be
get
a
into the
thing.
game for once. Yeah, bots, and they're doing like a ranking system as well for the battle royale stuff, which will be really helpful.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like a brand new map too.
Yep. A lot of cool stuff.
Looking forward to it.
Any final news for the day or talk for the day, guys? Think we're
Hold
good?
on, I'm explaining who Jake the Snake is to chat real quick.
Oh, they
okay.
don't know? Wow. Come on.
Okay.
guys.
Alrighty, guys and gals, that's all for this week. If you guys haven't checked out all the fantastic streamers here on INN, definitely do so. You find House Hendo, Twitch.tv House Hendo, Tutu. Well, actually, I'm pointing it the wrong way. I'm pointing on my screen. Tutu's at mixer.com/kid22. Jesse on Twitter.
I'm only on Twitter. Sorry.
We'll
then you
get
can
him
find-
everywhere else. Don't worry.
Then you can find me here on INN. I'm actually here full time now. It'll be cool to see everything. We're actually going to be doing a review of Grid here soon, the new racing game. But yeah, that's all for today. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Sunday. Have a good one, and we'll see you all next time.
Deuces.
Don't pay for the permit. I don't care if you buy a permit. Do you know how little I actually care if you have a permit?
Complaining about the fact that he received no support from that. I think Boat has some...
Yes, I do. Oh, I got some leaks for you.
Like simple shit like that. No, simple shit like that. If you can answer that,
I need to break in and say more original every week. That's a goal.
Do you really actually get paid for that? Because you deserve money for that last one. Now
I'm gonna